Okay, what's your name?
Jimmy Herr.
What do you lead here?
The tech team.
How did you first get into this position?
Well, I volunteered for several years, starting back in 2000, because I love technology and audio, video production, lighting. And so I volunteered for about 15 years before they brought me on staff full time. I was working another job doing production stuff, and then I came over here about 11 years ago, and I've been full time ever since.
How do you handle conflict without damaging relationships, like within the tech team and staff here at Brightmoor?
I think the biggest thing is making sure that the other people involved know that. Well, I think it's a little different between the tech team because it's all volunteers, and then employees. It's kind of two very different worlds. I can work with volunteers differently than I do staff. Volunteers, they're giving their time and their resources to come help. They're not getting paid, so a lot of it's just in love. You remind them that I have to have the best interest of everything in hand, and I'm not just doing this because I want to. It's what I feel is best for the team, the company, everything as a whole, and that's the responsibility I was given. They may not always like it, but that's kind of the way it is, and just reminding them that it's not a personal attack, and it's just something that I feel is necessary, and so you make sure that it's not something personal. It's for the better good of everything, and you do it. You don't come attacking them. You don't come. You just don't come at them like guns blazing. You come peacefully and
With kindness.
bring it up gently and say, hey, we need to maybe look at this, maybe think about redoing it this way. Just be gentle about it. You don't have to come all angry and everything.
What do you think makes someone truly good at working with others?
You have to know how to communicate with people, and part of communication is listening. A lot of people are quick to speak and they don't take the time to actually listen to somebody or give them time to get everything out they're trying to say and hear me out. They want to cut people off and just jump to conclusions. So, just being able to listen to people and hear people's hearts and figure out the root of an issue and not just what it looks like to be on the surface. It's all kind of like the last question. It's all based on your attitude and how you go into it. If you have a bad attitude about something, it's gonna tend to go south very quickly. So just changing your mindset before you have those hard conversations diffuses a lot of things before they even start.
How do you make people feel heard, even when you can't give them what they want? Like, for example, if a volunteer comes to you and wants to do something specific, but you don't want them to do that, how would you go about in that situation?
Again, it's the listening. Hear them out. Hear, because sometimes they do have great ideas that maybe I didn't think of. And I'm usually game for trying new things, unless I know that my leadership is adamant against what they're suggesting. And then I would give that reason, but I'm always up for new ideas, and I always listen to what someone has to say. Even if I don't fully agree with it, I'm going to listen to the whole thing, let them pitch their spiel, and of what they think would be cool or what they think would be beneficial, or and then you don't, every situation is different, but like you may not have to make the decision right then and there. You say, okay, let me think about it, let me talk to so and so, and let me pick their brain about it and see what they think before we go and execute this thing. But the key is to hear them out. Don't just blow them off like that's a dumb idea. Like, you may think it's dumb, but don't treat someone that way. No one deserves to be treated like that. So you just hear them out, and either if it's a great idea, awesome, implement it. It may be something that I have to do over time. But yeah, you hear them out.
I don't know if I asked this already, but how has your approach to leadership and communication changed over time?
Say it again?
How has your approach to leadership and communication changed over time? Like from when you first started here working until now.
Well, when I first started, obviously that was 11-ish years ago. I've grown over those 11 years because I was in a similar position to this, but in a different organization. And it really started back when I started that job almost 25 years ago. I was put in the position where I was 18, 19 years old, and I was in charge of leading 40, 50, 60-year-olds on the job site. And so that was really hard at the beginning because I'm this new guy that doesn't really know much, but I'm the one that's supposed to be telling them what to do. So that really stretched me over time. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how old they are. If you're put in that position of authority, you have to lead with that authority. So I say that prepped me a lot back a long time ago before I was here. Thankfully here, I've had great relationships with the people I work with. And so it kind of comes over time with the people you work with, and you learn from them. I know that some people I can deal with one way, and other people I have to be this way. Maybe a little more gentle, or this one I can be more firm, and we're still good because that's just how we operate. But it's been a while of learning how to talk with people and deal with different personalities, and everybody responds to one thing differently. And so knowing how those people are going to respond can kind of modify how I might present something to somebody. So it's just kind of on the job, like training. You don't figure it out until you're in that position. There's no like book that tells you how to deal with every single type of personality. You learn it as you deal with people, and sometimes things happen and you learn from that experience. So I better not do that again with this person because that's how they responded that time.
What is your favorite part of your current leadership role here at Brightmoor? If you have a favorite.
What's the last part?
What's your favorite part of your leadership role here at Brightmoor?
Honestly, I would say it's the people. I get to do a lot of cool things and use a lot of cool technology, but the friendships I've made over the last 10, 11 years, and some are still that long. Like a lot of the guys I work with are still on the team with me, and some are my best closest friends. And it's kind of like you find what you love, like what you love, and then get paid for it. So that's a bonus. Like, I love doing this stuff and I get to get paid for it, but now I get to have all these friends that love this stuff as well. And we have a small community within the church that are friends, and a group that does things together outside of serving in the tech department. So I think that the friendships and the relationships I've made over the years with the team is probably, it probably outweighs what I physically get to do every day. Because there's ups and downs of the job every day. There's parts that aren't fun, there's parts that are fun. But those friendships are always there, so I say to people,
How can you balance being both kind and being firm?
again, it goes back to just, you gotta listen to people and hear their heart. And sometimes you've gotta make the hard decision, but if you do it in love and you explain to them why you had to make the decision, you just don't go and say, because I said so. Like, nobody likes that. So, you hear them out, but then give, an opportunity to explain yourself and say, hey, this is why I had to make this decision. I know it's not what you wanted to hear, but again, the role I'm in, I'm looking out for the overall, company, and this is what I feel is best for the company. So I can't take just one person's interest, because that's not what my job is to do, is to make sure everything succeeds. So, and it's sometimes it's a hard conversation, but again, it's in all how you present it. It's you don't come in with a chip on your shoulder and because I'm the boss, because I said so, anything like that, because you're not going to get anywhere with anybody that way. You do it in love, and usually people, and the more you know somebody too, the more they know your heart and will hear that better from you than just if they didn't really know where you're coming from or seen how you operate in the past.
This is the last question. What advice would you give to someone my age who wants to build strong, respectful relationships as a leader?
I've said it a couple of times now. The biggest thing is to listen. You were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen before you have to speak. Hear them out, because you want to make sure that they feel important. Because everybody's important. And again, like I said before, the more someone knows your heart, knows where you're coming from, the more they're going to want to follow you and respect you. If you come at things with an attitude of, I know it all, I'm the boss, listen to me, people don't want to follow that. You see those memes like with the guy in the front of the boat and all the people in the back versus the guy in the back of the boat with all the people. You want to lead, you're behind the people helping elevate them. You're not out in front and them following you like lost sheep. So you want to empower your people that are underneath you, and know that, so they know that you've got their back, that you're fighting for them, not that they're following you blind. Yeah.